Good morning, everybody. It's your boy D Mac. So let's talk. Well, Adam Pacman Jones. We've known Pacman Jones for a lot of things. We've known him as a great football player. He played for the Cowboys for a long time. He also played for the Bengals. And that's where this story generates from. So, when Adam Pacman Jones was playing for the Bengals, actually, before he played for the Bengals, he had a friend, real close friend that he played in college with at Virginia. His name was Chris Henry. Chris Henry was an up and coming wide receiver. He played for the Cincinnati Bengals at the time. And in 2009, Chris Henry and his fiance at the time got into an argument to where she jumped in the truck and she tried to pull off, and he jumped on the back of the truck and they were arguing, and I guess during the melee she took off and he flew off of the truck and died from the injuries that he sustained while falling from the truck and hitting his head and things of that nature. um Pretty gruesome way to die. It was pretty heartbreaking for everybody. And he left behind two sons. And those two sons, they're growing up without a father in their life. And Adam Pac-Man Jones, being the friend that he was, he stayed a part of these young men's lives. He took interest in these young men's lives. And in his heart, he felt a tug on his heart to take care of these boys. And so what Adam Pac-Man Jones did was he recently adopted those two boys of Chris Henry. And I just want to say hats off and salute to you, Adam Pac-Man Jones, for taking on the responsibility of bringing up two young black men so that they will have a opportunity at a balanced life and a good life, because we know and we see every single day what the result is when a child does not have a father in their life, especially a boy does not have a father figure in their life. And so for Adam Pac-Man Jones to honor the memory of his friend and step up and be that father figure in their life and really commit to it, because whenever you adopt someone, that means that you're saying, I take on all obligations concerning this person and I consider them my own. So this is what Pac-Man Jones has done. So he already had three children of his own. Um, and he took on this with his best friend's fiance, because I know it's hard for her. Just imagine if you're in the end result of an argument between you and the person that you love ends up in them dying. That's a hard pill to swallow for anybody. And I know that that woman went through some hard years of grief because of that. Just the guilt off of feeling like it was her fault and partially her fault. And you know how people will blame themselves for something tragic that happened, especially if they have a role to play in it. And so Adam Jones saw this and he took it upon himself to say, hey, let me take some of this weight off of your shoulders. He saw a need and he was there to fulfill that need for that family. And I'm pretty sure Chris Henry, wherever he is, man, he's appreciative of what Pac-Man did for his sons. I know that I'm appreciative because this shows humanity in the midst of chaos. And this is what's needed. Every time something like this happens, it renews my faith in mankind, not to all mankind, but it just lets me know that there's still someone out there who has a heart and who's willing to look out for others and who don't always think about themselves, especially somebody in the position that Pacman Jones is in. We recently saw him fight in a celebrity boxing match, and it wasn't a great fight. It was, I think I talked about it a little bit, and I kind of criticized both parties because fighting is not their thing. But once again, they're celebrities. Their career was never in fight business, so I shouldn't expect them to look like a boxer in that instance. But they did their thing. Pacman Jones, he did his thing, made a little piece of change. So I guess every bit helps whenever you have a family of five to feed and you're no longer in the NFL like Pac-Man is. So my thing is this: I'm going to send out a prayer for Adam Pac-Man Jones. I'm going to send out a prayer for his entire family. I'm going to send out a prayer for Chris Henry's fiance and the rest of the family, because this is a hard thing to do, is to raise a man and just telling him stories about his father. That's a hard thing. I remember when I was coming up. Now, I had my father in my life till I was 17. He was in the house, he was there, all of that. But I didn't know anything about my father until after he passed away, because my father wasn't the type of person who just sit there and share stories of his life with you. And so, you know, for these young guys to just hear about their father and never really experience that bond with their father or experience the type of man that he is, it's important to have Adam Jones in their life to tell them what type of man their father was, and to shape and mold them like he know that their father would want. Man, that's a huge thing. And Pac-Man Jones, you have a spot in heaven, bro. I say stay on this track, man, because this is something that helped Mike Tyson to become the person that he is today. We look at Mike Tyson's background, and he has a very turbulent background during his career as well. He made some bad decisions, he made some mistakes, he got caught up in some stuff, but later on down the line, Mike was able to pull it together, and he was able to bring himself back to a place of self-respect. Forget everybody else's respect. Mike brought himself back to a place of respect for himself. He began to value himself. And once you see the value in yourself, it's a little bit easier for you to not go out and do those things that you would normally do that would cause harm to yourself. And Chris Henry was also going down this path as well before he passed. Um, he had some turbulent issues in his life. As you see how he ended up losing his life, it was because of outside turbulent issues. But he didn't, unfortunately, he didn't get the opportunity to turn it around. And so I feel like this is something that's feeding Adam Pac-Man Jones's turnaround and the things that he's been doing lately, the moves that he's been making lately to secure stability for his family in the long run. We get older, and we start to realize that it's not just about us, because when you get into an industry like the NFL or NBA or things like that, we have a tendency to become selfish. And you have to be, because you have to show people what your value is, and you have to maintain a certain value of yourself so that you don't get a low ball contract, things of that nature. So, you know, Adam Jones, I'm not going to sit here and ramble. I just said everything that I needed to say about you. I salute you, my brother. You are an unsung hero, and there isn't a guy in the league right now that can top you whenever it comes down to being a selfless person in my book. So, salute to Pac-Man Jones. Salute to those two young men and everybody that's involved. This is your boy D Mac. You know what I say: sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.